this has got to be like, what? All right.
I love it. Well, okay, so there was a group of strippers that unionized.
Huh?
There was a group of strippers that were working to unionize.
Oh, really?
Like a good portion of the pandemic, and they finally got all the signatures. So there's a union of strippers in the world, in the US. They were successful. So this is the next step, right? This is, we were talking about self-determination, and it's like, in this country, women who completely own their own selves is so offensive to the patriarchy and so offensive to capitalism. And I love it because it's like, why shouldn't they unionize? You know what I'm saying? Why shouldn't every worker have all of the demands that they need met, especially in one of the wealthiest nations? So that's exciting. I'm glad to hear that.
That's true. So let's get into this. So, and this has some elements that I was just like, what? So it says staff at GRINDR, the world's largest LGBTQ dating app, are unionizing. Now, anybody that's queer knows about GRINDR. Look, hold up. Let me take this down pretty quick.
Y'all been using this app since it started. So.
Hold up. Get off me. Okay, so GRINDR is a hookup app. Let's be real. Let's call a thing a thing. All right? Because if you're around somebody and you hear their phone go, then you know that somebody's trying to hit them up some booty. Let's be real, all right?
Yeah.
Anywho, that app is actually, they're trying to unionize. And with, I know that app because I used to have that app back in the day. You know what I'm saying? JB had to get it in, you know what I'm saying? So, workers at GRINDR, the popular long-running LGBTQ dating app, have announced a supermajority support for forming a union. Jackman talked to two GRINDR workers about their demands. Because on Thursday, July 20th, workers at GRINDR, the popular and long-running LGBTQ dating app, announced that they were unionizing with the Communication Workers of America. A supermajority of GRINDR workers has signed union cards, and they are asking the company to voluntarily recognize their new union. Workers are seeking greater job security among volatility in the tech industry, guarantees against being forced to return to the office, and representation on GRINDR's board of directors, among other demands. Worker organizers also say that their union drive was in part motivated by revelations that their new CEO, George Harrison, has expressed support for and donated to anti-LGBTQ politicians. This is a gay man. Hold up. This is a gay dude that is supporting anti-LGBTQ politicians.
Yeah. I mean, that's just a slap in the face.
Look, like I always said, all skin folk ain't kinfolk. Just because you're queer like me, it don't mean nothing. That means that you are not for your own liberation. Now, some people may be asking, well, who did this CEO, who did he actually, who did he donate to? And who did he, who is he behind?
Was it DeSantis?
Oh,
don't tell me.
Let me show you. All right, so this is him, right? Now, it says the right-wing political views of the head of GRINDR are causing some users to delete the popular dating and hookup app. Make it just bigger. Oh gosh. Anyway, I'm gonna bypass that. It says tag delete GRINDR is trending after news incoming CEO of George Harrison previously tweeted that he was a conservative who supported some of the positions of then President Donald Trump, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, and Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin. Harrison, who is gay, starts his new job on October 19th. That was last year. He said, FYI, I'm a conservative and agree with some of Trump's policies. And he deleted the tweet.
Screenshots are forever.
He said that Youngkin should totally run for president. He said he expressed support for DeSantis in another tweet from January. In the retweet, he wrote that the man who championed the Don't Say Gay law was not ideal, but agreed the Republican governor was better suited to advance a new, more combative and populist party.
A more combative populist party? All right, that's a dog whistle. I mean, this is the worst. I'm telling you. So, I'm sorry. I don't mean to keep cutting you off, but it's like this guy is basically saying, like, I don't care that you guys have to worry about your lives. I don't care if a mob comes and harms you and your family or your community. I'm comfortable where I am.
Yeah.
That's not solidarity. That's not what, you know what I mean? No. So, yeah. So he made this crap decision, you know what I'm saying? And he's trying to exist in these spaces while also support people being brutalized, you know, and now they're gonna good. I'm glad they're gonna unionize. That he can be replaced.
And the thing is that when you have people like this guy, here's the thing: just because you're gay or trans or queer in any way, shape, or form, if you do not have class consciousness and if you're not a class traitor, especially if you're in the PMC, professional managerial class, you don't care about liberation for your people. You're going to just say, I got mine, screw the rest of you. And we need to realize that just because somebody's queer, just because somebody's gay, it doesn't mean that they're still not going to be colonialist. It doesn't mean they're not going to be imperialist. It doesn't mean that they're not going to want to exploit people. Some of them are game for it.
Yeah.
And
some of them are compensated for that also.
Right.
How did he get into this position anyway, to become CEO? How many conversations happened? Yeah, them aligning with capitalist class is we don't have to make space for that anymore. You know what I'm saying?
No, we don't. And rainbow capitalism will not save us.
No capitalism is going to save us.
None.
Facts.
And so guys like this, like, screw him, because the thing is that, number one, I am all for the unionization of GRINDR. Go ahead, y'all unionize. But while we're at it, GRINDR, Scruff, Bigger City, Growler, Chaseable, all the apps, all of them. And look, if y'all can get into doing a co-op instead, please do. Please do. Let me know.
Yes.
Because I'm sick and tired. And also, while we're at it, another thing that needs to be said: white gays, y'all need to do the work of anti-racism. Because yes, racism exists in the gay community. I said what I said.
No, it's true. And honestly, there have been 2 queer people who have been murdered recently. There have been straight women who are accosted in restrooms now because of all of this legislation, all this rhetoric against, why is this a problem? Why are we still dealing with this? Like, if the civil rights movement was so successful, if all these movements were so successful, why are we still fighting? Like, why are we still having to rally to keep our communities safe, from bigotry and hatred? And I think it's very concerning. I'm glad people are paying more attention, like you brought up RFK Jr. earlier and the money that he's getting. Pay attention to who's getting money from where. You know what I'm saying? All of these people who are racist, who are against, LGBTQI communities, they're on somebody's payroll. And that's the big concern that we have to keep an eye out for. Because of course they're going to keep inflaming the police state. Of course they're going to keep uplifting, white supremacy and all of that. So anyway, yeah, we have to remain vigilant, and we can't vote our way. I say this unironically as a politician. We cannot simply vote our way out of these things, out of these situations. We have to be organized against them.
Yep. And
On
so
multiple fronts.
I didn't want to spend too much time on this one, but this that's some good news. That's a bright spot. That GRINDR is trying to unionize. I talked to my boyfriend about it. He was like, I don't like GRINDR. I still don't like GRINDR, but I'm glad they're using it.
I mean, but would you like to work for a union company? Probably,
Of course.
Yeah. Yeah, workers should have their rights. I know I can't